Hello, everyone. We are now at week 4 of Let's Talk Football with Sha'Niece and friends. And my friends that I have on today, we have Savin and Brian. I feel like we should call you guys the regulars. The regulars, right?
Yeah,
Look, I'm
like
excited
that.
to have y'all on. This has been a very interesting week of football. And we're not gonna hold folks up, but y'all can introduce yourselves if you want to. Let folks know what your team is, who you love.
Cool. Savin Joseph, the Washington Commanders are my team. Hail to the Commanders.
So y'all still holding on to that, the hell thing?
Yeah. Hail to the Commanders.
Okay.
We played a hell of a game.
And we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Go ahead, Brian.
Brian Henry, uh, America's team you love to hate. You know,
There they
the 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 Dallas Cowboys.
go.
Got a ref my quarterback today. So
Wow.
That is a bold statement, sir.
yeah,
Wow.
ref my quarterback. My
We'll
quarterback.
see how long this lasts. Because I hear you talking about
Yes,
your
we will.
quarterback.
We will definitely see.
That's my quarterback.
We're gonna see if you're gonna be crying like T.O. by the end of this.
Hold on, though. All I can say is who has the most picks? Who has the most picks in the division?
Okay, you got it. You
I'm
got
just
it.
saying.
You know what? I'm glad you started off with the foolishness.
Who got the most picks and who got sacked the most? That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that.
We're gonna jump right into it.
Whose quarterback got the most points?
So we
That dang. Man,
Whose quarterback got the most points? Hold up, what?
in the division?
Who got the most touchdowns?
It's between Dak and Jalen.
Is it? Are you sure about that?
I don't think so.
No,
Remember,
it can't be
Dak
Sam.
only had one.
It can't be Sam.
Dak hasn't scored that many.
It is. Remember,
Yeah.
We already jumping the gun.
I know, right? We already jumping the gun, indeed. Yes.
First off, technically it's your fault because you started off with fire. You started off with violence. You started with violence.
Listen, man, I don't.
You
I'll
started
come in
with
peace.
violence.
I come in peace.
Oh, really? Look, we're going to start with this week's matchup since we already pretty much jumped into it, but we're doing it different this week. We're going to start from the bottom, and now we're here because I refuse to let y'all talk trash about my quarterback and my team before I do. So I'm going to start this thing off.
Have at it.
At number 4. At number 4, at the bottom of the NFC East, and probably the bottom of, well, no, we're not the bottom of the NFC total, but the bottom of the NFC East are my New York Giants. We're at the bottom, and there's no coming back from this. My New York Giants, in unfortunate fashion, have completely fallen apart, and I thought that we were going to play the Seahawks and it was going to be competitive. It was supposed to be a competitive game. When you look at both teams, rosters, quarterbacks, we were in about equal footing. So I wrongfully assumed. We played on Monday night. In true Giants fashion, we still couldn't get off to doing anything in the first half. And at this point, I don't know where the Giants go from here. I was thinking to myself when I started even putting my notes together, I'm like, are the Giants going to be the easy win team now? You know how you get your schedule and you're like, okay, we know that's a win. The Texans are a win. Chicago's a win. Like, I feel like now the Giants have officially been put in that spot because even though Buffalo lost, Buffalo knows that they're playing the Giants in Buffalo and have seen what the Giants have done and are assuming that we're like the Broncos. They're going to run the score up. And I don't put it past them to do that in front of their home crowd. I think Brian Daboll has a huge problem. And he has a problem that, unfortunately, because of the team, he was really between a rock and a hard place. Like, I'm really done with the Twitter folks and the Twitterverse about we shouldn't have signed Daniel Jones. He's overpaid and all this other stuff. Like, there weren't a whole lot of options out there last year because we also could be with Jimmy Garoppolo, Baker Mayfield, or Derek Carr, 2 of which are injured. We know Jimmy's history. So there wasn't a lot in like as far as quarterbacks available, there wasn't really a lot out there. And then you think, okay, well, if y'all would have let Daniel go, bomb last year and get a first round draft pick. Again, we're back to CJ Stroud, who's doing pretty well, but we'll talk about him later. Anthony Richardson, who also was injured, and in Carolina, Bryce Young, who I feel really sorry for the young man, but again, those were options, right? I think that Brian Daboll and the decision they made to give Daniel the contract, I think we were just bamboozled. We were hoodwinked. We were led astray. We were scammed because we knew what Daniel Jones was, who he is, and he Scooby-Dooed us. He Scooby-Dooed us and put on a show last year. Put on a show, showed us like, hey, pay the man. There's not a lot out there. You can work with this. Like, you got something you could work with it. Give him some weapons. Give him something, give him this great young wide receiver, Jalen Hyatt, who is crazy fat. Like, give him a little something. We could work with this. And we thought at Dallas, we was like, okay, maybe he's showing signs. And then this past week, we pulled the mask off. And it was Daniel Jones that we knew from the past 4 or 5 years.
Was what we thought he was.
Yes.
He is. Absolutely.
Yes.
He was what he was what we thought he was. I talked about it a little bit last week with when you have a team, we talked specifically about San Francisco, right? The San Francisco game that was last Thursday. And I said the difference between Daniel Jones and what Brock Purdy has in San Francisco is that everyone around Brock Purdy wants to make him great. Everyone around Brock Purdy is going to make something happen. George Kittle has openly talked about, we tell him just put it up there. We'll be there. We'll make the catch. We'll make you look good, because they know their window of opportunity is getting smaller. They have a lot of future Hall of Famers. They got Pro Bowlers. They got some of the best of the best of the best. And so they're trying to make the most out of this situation. And even with Brock Purdy, even if Sam Darnold comes in, they want to maximize what they can do with the talent they have around him. That is the opposite of what Daniel Jones have. I don't think they still believe in him. I don't think there's that we're going to go and get it mentality that we had last year when it was a new era, a new beginning. And so, to kind of wrap up my little blob, I think, like I said, I think Brian Daboll and Joe Shane, who's our GM, I think when they did this deal with Daniel and they negotiated and they did it, it was because I think they looked at Daniel Jones similar to how they look at Geno Smith, this redemption story. He's not a wash. We can't throw him away. Look at what he's shown in the potential. The problem is that Geno is continuing to get better. Geno has a team around him, a coach around him that are making him better. And it's not that Brian Daboll doesn't have that, but I don't know what the hell they do have this year. I hate that there were no expectations going into last year and they exceeded it. This year, there are expectations and they can't even meet the bare minimum. And right now, we have a very tough road ahead of us before our bye. We have Miami. We got Buffalo. And we got Washington. Which now suffice it. Now listen. Now here we go in Vegas. So here's this.
2 times.
No, not before I buy. We don't have
not before the buy. Not before the buy.
Yeah, not before the buy. So here's the problem, and here's what makes this really tough. We have to come out of this streak because the Washington game, we should perform differently because it's a division game. And again, we should. We can't come out of that. We can't go into a bye at 1-6, potentially 1-7, not being able to go 3-2, at least 3-2 with these teams. That's the only salvageable way we can get through this season is if we go 3-2. If we don't, at this point in time, if we get to the bye and we are 1-7 or maybe 2-6.
Oh, y'all going for Caleb Williams. Easy.
We have to get a quarterback.
The Bengals,
We're not going to be able to get a first round draft pick just off of sheer numbers, and I think our positioning. We wouldn't be able to get Caleb Williams. Like that would be
stranger things have happened.
You know
we
what?
would have to move. We would have to trade and move up, and we don't have enough assets to do that.
The question you have to ask yourself right now, y'all the Giants in search of a Saquon right now, right? Saquon's hurt, but
Yes.
if I'm Saquon, I'm like, yes. What do you got? A high ankle sprain? What was it? What was his thing?
Yeah, he has a sprain. It's week.
Oh yeah,
you gotta realize
that's
our
easy.
running wasn't the issue this past week. Our running game wasn't non-existent.
Right. I get that, but your offensive line leaves some things to be desired. Let's keep that in mind. Right? If I'm Saquon Barkley, I'm like, all right, cool. This injury, let's go ahead and add on a couple of weeks to this. Like if we make the playoffs, I'll be back in the playoffs.
Oh,
right? Like y'all only paying me for the playoffs. Y'all ain't nothing else. Like I ain't
Absolutely.
If somehow, some way the Giants squeeze out and get wild card, then yes, you will expect 2-6 to be back in the backfield. Absolutely, no hand.
But at this point, you gotta chill. You gotta hold out.
Yeah. However, if the way is looking right now, I'm hitting the reset button. Chicago has 2 picks. Hey, do you want Saquon and what else? I need one of those picks. I'm calling Chicago because I'm getting one of. I'm getting a quarterback because you got Caleb Williams, you have Drake May, you have a heavy quarterback class coming out, and for Saquon, because they're already thinking about trading Justin Fields because they're like. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, I'll give a Jordan Fields and the number 2 pick for Saquon, and I give you a whatever. Okay, we can make that trade. We can make that trade right now if you want to.
How many more years does Saquon have on his deal though? This is the last year of this deal.
He has 2.
I think this deal was either one. It's a 1-year deal that he's on right now.
Yeah, he got a 1-year deal.
Did he get tagged? He didn't get tagged. He saw here
because it's a restricted tag, right? It's not unrestricted, is it?
I think it is restricted. I don't know if it's restricted.
It is. I want to say it's a restricted tag for Saquon.
I want to say the same thing too. But so here's where I'm at. We go into the bye, and it's looking real bad for us right now. Like you said, I agree. We have to go for a quarterback in the draft. I am not pressed about it being the number 1 draft pick or number 2, but we have to go QB. I think I posted this on Twitter, like folks like, oh, y'all stuck with Daniel forever. I was like, no, we're not. We're not the Browns. Ain't nobody give Daniel no 5-year guarantee deal or anything crazy like that with no trade clause.
Y'all gonna cut him or y'all gonna trade him? That's the question.
So the thing is, here's where I think Dayball and them should move. If we're going that bad, you're not going to bench him, right? Like we can't bench him for Tyrod. You just have to take your legs. We have to go for a QB in the draft. I think definitely more so top 5 and again, if we're hitting the buy at like 1 and 7, we're looking at probably a top 5, top 10 pick. And then you have to trade him. You have to sit here and try to trade. Because my thing is, it's not like when he got drafted and Eli was still there. So the idea was, hey, he's behind a veteran QB. He's going to learn. I mean, you said, you gotta wash it. I think Wink is going the right way to lose his job by the end of this season with the defense.
I don't think if it was me, right, and I already know my offensive line is terrible, why would I draft a rookie quarterback, right? I know the class is great, but why would I draft a rookie quarterback to put behind that line to potentially get hurt? Now I'm losing out on that.
But that's the thing, you're not. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying either it's kind of an either or thing. You either get a rookie QB, like according to how bad we are, you may not need to trade. Yeah. You may not need to trade up, right? Like according to how bad
you may not.
In positioning, you may not need to.
A quarterback could fall in your lap, You know what I'm saying? Because how deep the quarterback class is. But I do agree with
And let's not
Savin,
forget, there's some second rounders who can actually. Dak is a second. No, Dak isn't even second
fourth
round. Isn't
round.
he fourth?
He'll fourth round pick.
Jalen's
But
not
his,
first round. Jalen is what? Second?
If I'm the front office and the back office of the Giants, and I was watching that game last night, as Geno, for as long as Geno was out there, the whole time, he was up there like, psychologically pointing at leadership, like with the Miss Sealy hands. Until you do right by me, y'all never have a quarterback again, right?
And I
never
want to be very clear about Geno and this whole dirty hit. That was not a dirty play. It wasn't a dirty hit. Like,
it was football.
It was a weird fall.
Right. That's why I was like, it was a weird fall, but there wasn't even a flag. Like, that wasn't a dirty hit.
But you also gotta think, man. If I'm Geno, every time I step in that building, I'm feeling some type of way. I can't even.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, he absolutely is.
Yeah, so that probably just added to it, but it has to, like, I think Geno is a perfect example of, you can get a QB, but is your QB going to be in the right situation? And going back to the whole Russell Wilson situation with Sean Payton, right? They're figuring that whole situation out. It has to be right timing. You have to have the pieces, like all the pieces, right? I'm keeping Darren Waller. Like, I'm definitely keeping him, right? You still have that rookie receiver. I forgot his name. You have him.
Maybe
get some younger running backs. Let Saquon go, right? So you have to pay him, and then build up that line. Right?
And that's what Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen are going to end up having to do. Again, if we are in a position where we are going into the bye with either one or just 2 wins, they have to be looking to the future, to save their jobs, right? But to say, like, okay, we did this Daniel Jones experiment. You win some, you lose some, right? Like every quarterback and many teams have gone through we thought this was the guy and he's not. But then that does put a lot more pressure on Daboll and Joe Schoen to make a hell of a decision. Like, they have to have A+ spectacular draft, with or without Daniel Jones in the building or his future. They have to have an A1 stellar draft, especially according to where we are. But I'm off my bench because, like I said, I was gonna say what I was gonna say. Y'all wasn't gonna drag me first.
I'm gonna say this. This is a question for you. If you think about in the history of the New York Football Giants,
yes,
has there ever been an elite quarterback? And like an elite, it's always been like a mid,
elite and legendary.
Yeah, it's always like, if you really think about it, it's always been a mid quarterback, and you guys, and that quarterback was the little brother to the big brother, which is the defense and the O-line, D-line, a big, heavy, like a Brandon Jacobs. What's your other boy that played behind
Bradshaw.
Bradshaw, you know what I'm saying? So like, if you think about it, I kind of retract my statement. It's really not the quarterback. If you get some fat boys,
well, let's keep it
and you get like a solid. I mean, I give Brian the rest of the season. If he can't turn it around the rest of the season, I'm calling somebody to fill that spot, because Daniel Jones is good. He got the money to show it, but we're going off of last season into the future. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So,
Brian,
go ahead.
Can I answer your question real quick? So 2 really quick things, which is very important, what you said, which is, no, have the Giants had just this stellar, legendary QB? No, but in the period, in the Eli Manning era, you didn't have to have all that to win Super Bowls. You didn't have to have these elite quarterbacks and elite play to make it to the big game. Remember, Eli went to the Super Bowl and won twice as a wild card team. Like, we eked in there. You know what I'm saying?
That was all Tom Coughlin, right?
Right.
That was all Tom
But
Coughlin.
no. And our defense
was like,
we also
Coughlin
had
gotta go. We had
a great defense, and we had Spags. We also had Spagnuolo, who's with Kansas City. It was a lot of things. in our favor. But to answer your question, we are not in an era anymore, specifically because of, some of the really good quarterbacks out of the AFC and those who are in the NFC as well. We're not in an era where you can get through with mediocre or good quarterback play and make it all the way through. Matthew Stafford, I think, you have those Matthew Staffords, those Joe Flaccos every now and then, but
I don't know if I agree 100%, right? Because I mean, okay, so I'm going to use Brock Purdy as an example, right? Okay. I'm using him as an example. So Brock Purdy, what like the big question you have to have about him is if you put him on the Bears. Let's say they trade Justin Fields for.
I have to add this one because it's very true.
Right? Is it the same Brock Purdy or is it the pieces around him? Right? The tight end is pretty blanket easily, right? You have Deebo Samuel, you have Christian McCaffrey, you have all these weapons, so that way you shine the light off of them because they could have put like how San Francisco has run over the past couple of years. You could put anybody in that QB spot and make it the Super Bowl just based off.
Absolutely.
Brock Purdy, to me, and I'm not even exaggerating when I say this, Brock Purdy is Willie Beeman. Like seriously, like he's right place, right time. He has the right defense. He has a toy in Christian McCaffrey. I'm talking about I give him MVP right now. The season will be I will give him the MVP.
But that's not the argument that I'm making, right? Because he's making the most of the situation that he's in. Like you said, Willie Beeman, right? He's like, oh, I was third string, now I'm starting. Okay, cool. Mr. Irrelevant, guess who's relevant now, right? Like he's doing it, right? Mm-hmm. But like I said, going back to Russell Wilson, right? When Russell Wilson was with the Seahawks, he was the golden boy. Everybody's like, oh, he's first ballot Hall of Fame. Now people are like, is he really first ballot Hall of Fame? Like, what's going on? Right?
Listen.
No, you.
Sherman and those boys backed them up. Sherman.
Yeah.
And Marshawn Lynch.
He had the Legion of Boom. He had a running back. He had receivers. Like he had all those pieces. So
you had to do was give Marshawn the ball at the 2.
That's
right. All you had to
do.
But they gave the mediocre player the ball to make a decision, and they lost the game.
You ran a slant at the 2.
Defense.
To the lead.
Hold on. Not even just at the 2. That wasn't on 4th and 2. Or that was like this. That was second down.
That was second
down. He should have ran it in.
Right? All you had to do was just like, there you go. And just boom, back-to-back Super Bowl champions. But that's not the here or there.
Right. Well, look, since you cooking, actually next up is Savin, because technically he'll be talking about his game since it was a good divisional matchup. I'll be honest, this game was good. I don't care. Look, I don't like Philly. I don't like Washington. I wanted them to tie. But there's nothing like a good NFC East matchup. And damn it, Washington and Philly did not disappoint. Savin, you got the floor.
Man, when I tell you Washington's game, like coming, I already knew it was going to be a good game. First off, I think I mentioned this before, right? I was like, hey, look, that game's going to be a good game. Coming off the Bills game, we got demolished during that game, right? Demoralized, like literally, there was a couple of pressers, a couple of interviews with a couple of people, but like radio silence. So I knew what was going to happen was going to happen. And I will say this. I'm going to go back to the last one. The Oregon-Colorado game affected last week's play for both Vance Joseph and Eric Bieniemy, because both of them came out swinging this week.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, back to the game. So we came out swinging first great first quarter. Really attacked it. Sam Howell was very decisive. Really enjoyed him playing. Enjoyed the whole team playing. Right. I think overall the third quarter is probably the quietest in our end. Right. But a great back and forth. Was really impressed with obviously Sam Howell. Emmanuel Forbes did a really good job with AJ Brown, right? He got a couple of deep balls on him, but that's more so experience than anything else, right? But really good. He almost got a pick, right? I think the there are some decisions I'm not happy with, and I'll be, there are some fourth downs where I was like, why are we going for this? And some fourth downs was like, why aren't we going for this? Right at the wrong times.
Will they call him Riverboat Ron? Which I'm still lost at where
Ron, right? Because he'll gamble, right? He'll be like, hey, it's fourth down, let's go for it.
He'll roll the dice.
But I was so shocked he didn't do it at the end of the game. I was very shocked.
But that's what I'm saying, right? And like I forgot his name, man. I should have wrote it down. But like the defender that on that last play, where he got his arm stepped on. Like if you playing defense to the point where you putting your arm under the cleat to keep the receiver from like catching the ball, from like actually having it count, I gotta do nothing but respect that. But at the same time, he was in. Controversial, I know, but he definitely was in. That toe, that tip of that toe touched. I saw it. But that's neither here nor there. I think definitely it was another good loss, I would say, right? Because we see them in a couple weeks or a few weeks, so we get to and we see him at FedEx, so I'm good with that.
Good loss.
I mean, there's really no good losses, right? But I
feel you.
I can't really be upset because of how they played. They went into Philly. Everyone thought that they were going to lose. They came, they smacked them in the mouth. It was a slugfest, right? Like which is what you wanted to be. I mean, I think it was. I haven't been that emotionally involved in a game since last year's Philly game, right? And even after the game, I'm sitting there stunned, like I couldn't really watch no other football. Like I was sitting in my chair like this for like maybe like an hour afterwards. My daughter came in like, "Daddy, it's okay. It's okay. We'll get a new coach." Like, so she's on that. So she's already picking up the cues and all that anyway. But like, I think overall, was happy to see Terry out there getting it in early. So his toe injury isn't really doesn't seem like it's phased him as much. Play calling was definitely a lot better. We got deeper into that bag. A very more balanced offense, which is great. I think the only thing on the defensive side, right? I don't know if it was how they drew up the scheme for that game, but like as I'm looking at it, Chase Young, it seemed like he was giving up that contain too much. He was over aggressive on his pursuits, and then and Jalen Hurts is getting out there, man. And that's kind of my biggest thing. The secondary, I can't really fault the secondary because they were doing their thing for the most part. It's just that AJ Brown is AJ Brown. He's going to do what he does, right? So you expect that. We'll take those because we got the time back. And they gave us the time back too, which is another thing. So they dared us to do it, and we did it. So like that last at the end of regulation. Those last 5 seconds, like, like I said, exciting football, but I'll give it that.
No, I'll say this one thing about Washington. In my notes I was like, they're scrappy, but a little inconsistent. We don't necessarily know what Washington is yet. You have these slugfest, like to see what happened against Buffalo, and then y'all come out like fighting. And granted, again, different scenarios. Like it's always going to be different when it's a conference, not a conference, a divisional rivalry in a divisional game, and you're in Philly. But I do think, despite the scrappiness and really the up and down of the team this season, I do truly believe that by week 14 is when y'all have y'all bye. I think that's when we're going to really know if you guys are a solid wild card contender. I have you guys as a wild card contender, but there's still, y'all still got a few more folks you got to go through. But I think by the time you guys get to your bye, it's really going to determine like, okay, is Washington for real or not?
I like our chances. I really like our chances.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned about us being scrappy, right? And like you look at the Bills game, and the Bills game, like it's a game we were supposed to lose, right? So maybe not that bad. And I think, like maybe not that bad. A game like so. I look at that Bills game like this, and I was able to attend that game in person, right? And looking at it, it's okay. It's the Bills. They're not. This is not a divisional game. It is a game, right? To kind of whatever. And it's a AFC Championship contender, right? So if I look at it from that perspective, it's like, all right, cool. Like on paper, they're supposed to do this to us on paper, right? But that's really the only game that you can really look at to say, oh, all right, cool. Every other game we've been scrappy, right? Every other game we've had to come back from behind, right? To do something, win it at the end, and every game has been close. So our team, as a wild card contender, I've said this from the jump. I don't think we're a Super Bowl team per se, right? If we got there, will we make the most of it? Probably, yeah, right. But we're in every game, right? Like even the games, like except for the Bills game, that's the only one. So if you look at us compared to the other teams that we've played and the teams that they've played, I don't know. Like the only asterisk is really Denver, right? But Denver is seeming to wake up, and it's only week 4. You can't really make that. Like you say,
it is so very early.
8.
No, I agree. It is very early, but that's why I said I think you guys are definitely a solid so far. What we've seen, right, from the 4-week sample size. Like I said, I think it's scrappy. Like you said, you're in the games. It's not consistent, right? Because, like you said, I didn't go into the Buffalo game thinking you guys were gonna. I don't think I thought you were gonna win or lose, but I didn't think it was like you said. I didn't think it was gonna look like that. Yeah. But I also think you guys have a schedule where you can make some noise and definitely, like I said, Washington's just one of those weird teams right now where it's like I don't know what to make of it yet. Like I don't want to jump on the hell yeah they're going to make it to the playoffs, the wild card for sure. I'm not going to say that yet, but you guys are definitely you're a team that folks. I think you guys are in the same kind of boat as the Seahawks. Folks are watching. Folks are absolutely.
I mean, watching. I don't know. I would go a step further, right? I would say if it wasn't for the Bills' loss, we'd be more like the Lions. People would be looking at us more like the Lions.
I feel like
it's there, but the Lions are a little bit higher than the Seahawks. The Seahawks, like this is like last year, they're like, oh, we could do something. This year, they're like, okay, cool. Now let's build on that. That's where they are. And I think for us.
I was going to say, hold on, Brian. I know you're about to say something real quick.
I think Washington is. I think if you guys get maybe do like a trade or two in the middle of the season, I think you guys will be on the up and up. I really do. I think your tight end play needs to, like Sam needs that security blanket, like on 3rd and 5. He needs that security.
Thomas. We have a bad we've always had a bad problem with just injured tight ends, right? Like Logan Thomas started the season injured. He got that concussion after the during the Denver game, right?
So Jordan Reed, history Jordan Reed.
But y'all also got to start taking care of Sam Howell. Y'all, one thing Washington has been known for is like not taking care of y'all quarterback and letting him get pounded on. Pause. But y'all really, that's one area I think y'all might need to tighten up is really protecting him. Yes, he's young, he can take hits, but
I would get a lineman.
Yeah, you got to protect him a little bit more.
No, I mean I agree, right? It's hard. It's kind of hard when you have Trent Williams for like the longest, and then you let that go when you're trying to rebuild the nucleus of your line or after that, right? So I mean we're getting there. Like we're not there yet, but luckily he's mobile enough to be like, hey, I'm gonna get out because there was one almost sacked by Jalen Carter where he was like, whoop, he was out, right? So he's nimble enough. But I agree, we definitely have to build. We definitely have to build in that way. And I think the big thing for me is just for our identity as an offensive line, right? Because we're not the best, right? But if we make decisive and quick decisions, we can go. That's really all you need, right?
Yeah. Well, I only had one quick thing about Philly. I think Philly played. I haven't seen that. Wow, Philly. Like I haven't seen that with Philly. Like Philly is really in these games like dog fights, and Philly's schedule is brutal. I actually pulled up their schedule. Like they literally have to get past Kansas City and Buffalo, right? Like they don't have an easy schedule at all, and of course San Francisco as well. But I think that's the thing about Philly. Like Philly's mentality, I feel like this year is very much so win by all means. Like it don't matter if you win by 1.3 points or 30 points. Win. And Philly is just at the end of the day, they got Jalen Hurts. And when you do have a really good quarterback and a really good O-line where he has time, because that was one thing you mentioned, Savin, I didn't get a chance to even talk about, which I'm not going to go deep into, which is your quarterback has to have time. And you can't let your quarterback get hit 11 sacks, 10 sacks,
Correct.
9 sacks a game. You're never going to win when your quarterback is in the dirt. When people are going after you, you don't have time to make any decision. Nobody's getting down the field, let alone throwing the ball down the field with literally a second, a fart make a decision. Like, I've had farts longer than how much time Daniel Jones has had to have a decision. And I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right.
Like, and that's why I say with Howell, you do. I definitely think being a Washington fan right now, you do have a good thing with Howell. But y'all, like I said, y'all got to take care of him. Y'all got to give him time. So for time's sake, I'm letting you go, Brian. Go ahead, do your thing.
Dallas. What a way to bounce back from last week. Because Jesus Christ, I almost flipped the TV last week. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not.
Brian, I didn't even have you on the schedule. You text me something, I'm ready. I was like,
oh look, I was ready. I was ready. I was ready. But looking at the stats, I'm not. I mean, we handed Bill Belichick the biggest L of his career. I mean, 38-3. Dak played a decent game. He did what he's supposed to do. Defense did what he's supposed to do. We just got to score in the red zone. We have to score in the red zone. Like, it does not make sense to have a good fullback at that, and you're still running Russell Wilson Super Bowl run slant plays in the red zone. You have a running game. You have 4 running backs and a fullback, power I, 12 personnel, whatever you got to do, and just run it in the statement. Like I said, David Post said, do way to bounce back. 3-1, going to Santa Clara, California this Sunday.
Here's the thing.
Man,
I'm gonna say this before I give you. I have a question for you.
What's up?
I'll start with the question.
What's up?
I've had your other counterparts, your cowboy counterparts, come at me on the interwebs.
Okay.
Honestly, how do you feel with Dallas going into San Francisco? Now, here's the thing. I understand the win y'all got this past week, but for context, 14 of those points were the defense.
Oh, absolutely.
The Patriots they had to sit their quarterback. Like, what I'm saying? Like, the Patriots played god awful.
They sat him so he hurt.
Yeah, basically.
They could have sat him because he had a hangnail. Like, it didn't matter. He was got to sit.
I ain't gonna hold you. Patriots should have kept Cam.
Ooh.
He should have.
They should have kept Cam.
Great.
To be honest with you, but that's neither here or there.
But on a serious note, like,
going into Santa Clara this Sunday.
Yeah.
I love Darren Brand. Darren Brand had the most picks last season. He's not Trayvon Diggs, but it would do. I don't think Brock Purdy is going to throw it towards Gilmore's side because Gilmore is respected. I think he will try Deron Brand, but we'll see. It's that two-headed monster and Debo and CMC. If we stop them two, or at least contain them to under 50 yards or 5 catches or whatever the case, we put it like this: we really cannot let Christian McCaffrey go off. Literally. We cannot let him give a fantasy owner 40 points or something like that. We can't allow that. We can't allow it. So I feel like if we just contain him, contain the run, know our personnel, do our job, I think it's gonna be a dogfight. Dak has to play like he is Michael Jordan in Game 6. He has to. Because this is what the Monday morning quarterback is going to be on Get Up, Undisputed, etc. First Take. Dak got beat by Brock Purdy. That's exactly what it's going to be.
I'm gonna say
that's exactly what it's going to be.
Or actually, here's the other headline: Dak can't elevate his own team. He's not that guy.
I'll do you one better. Dak got beat by Mr. Irrelevant.
Right.
You're a 4th round pick. You're a 4th round pick. You signed with Jordan. You got some like some clean Jordan cleats. I want some.
I'm not gonna lie.
and you're a
dark
4th round pick, and you got the bread. Jerry gave you the money, and you get beat by Mr. Irrelevant.
I don't know, man.
That can't happen. So going into this game,
look, I gotta let my sister cook because that's literally what my face said.
under 50 yards. I mean, listen. I get it.
Christian McCaffrey with that O-line, and here's the thing: the reason why I asked that, just for context, that was what I had said. I was like, y'all have 4 that y'all really gotta contain.
Yes.
Number 1 is who I have for definitely top 3 for MVP race, and he's not number 3, which is Christian McCaffrey. That's the monster. You like you said, that's who you really got.
Yes.
But you got Deebo Samuels, who's hard as hell to get down. You got Brandon Ayuk, who's playing lights out, and you still got in your Brock Purdy's 4th option is George Kittle. Future Hall of Famer, one of the top tight ends in the game.
You still got George Kittle running a
That's
seam.
Your 4th option.
Running a seam as your 4th option, just in case. So the secondary
blocking crazy.
Yes, that part. So I think if we win this game, it will be by the skin of our teeth.
I gotta get
that ain't. You know what?
I mean, look. I think for
tell Matt Jones to sit down. No, I'm playing.
I think for the entirety of the NFC East, man, the 49ers are going to be the litmus test of how good.
Oh, absolutely.
And
1,000%.
Because y'all already hold on. New York already played them, right? Y'all already played them.
Don't do that.
No, I'm serious.
We played them on a short week and we got beat.
So everybody got it. So everybody, the whole NFC East has to play the 49ers. So that's really test. Like, so it's really us and the Eagles.
We gotta play them, Miami, and
Buffalo. We play the whole AFC East. That was the other thing, Brian. Before we go to the rest of NFL news, because I feel like we're going to talk about this the whole time. I might scrap some of the others, but that was the other question I wanted to pose to you, which is Dallas is in a very tough spot. Like I said, when you think of strength of schedule, it's actually technically in this order. Philly has the toughest. You guys have the second toughest. Washington, and then we're flapping in the wind. Here's y'all thing. Y'all have a bye. Y'all have an early bye in a very tough road after the bye. Y'all have all of the AFC East, so you still got to go through Buffalo, Miami, and y'all already did the Patriots, and y'all already. Well, you got the Jets, but y'all already did the Jets. We already passed that. And you still got the West, which obviously y'all are about to play. And you still have, I know you got LA, but LA is kind of an up and down team. Who else do y'all have?
Y'all gonna get the Panthers.
So in order, we got San Fran, we got at San Fran, at Chargers, then we chill. Then we come back, we host the Rams. At Philly, we host New York. We go to Charlotte that next week. We host Washington. We host Seattle. We host Philly. At Buffalo. At Miami. Then Detroit.
And that's nothing. Y'all got to go to Buffalo in the cold. But like I said, I'm gonna let you finish cooking real quick, Brian, before we move on, because we only gonna be able to do one more topic after this. But I mean, y'all have one of the second toughest schedules, especially if we're talking NFC East. After y'all bye, it's not easy. It's not an easy road. I do think you guys are still a playoff team. You have been for the past 2 years, but yeah.
Hey, I got the Lions. And I got the Lions.
And I'm about to say, and you guys
got the Lions.
When folks are fighting for playoff spots.
You got some hungry teams.
You will have hungry teams at the very, very end, including Washington.
Yeah, Lions 17. Thank God it's on the inside. Thank God it's not in the cold. But at Buffalo, and then you got to go to South Beach that next week.
I go frozen then to get thawed out.
They get thawed out exactly.
And then y'all gotta come to FedEx, baby. Y'all gotta come to FedEx.
And remember, when you guys play, when y'all have y'all matchup, it is going to be a dogfight because by that, y'all are fighting for playoffs. And I think that's going to be the toughest road for Dallas, unlike some other years. I think that, the end is like, oh, yeah, you're going to have your divisional games. I think the road that Dallas has after that bye is you guys are playing nothing but playoff contenders. Every week is folks fighting for a playoff position. And I think that's tough.
Honestly, if we can go, and this is just in a perfect world, I'm looking at the schedule now. If we can go 1, that means we beat San Fran, we beat Chargers, we beat the Rams, and we lose to Philly. I like our chances. Because home field, the key. I mean, and this is obvious. The key thing is home field advantage. Home field advantage. We do not want to go to Philly in the cold. We rather go to if anything, as far as the NFC, I would rather go. If we have to go back to Santa Clara, at least it's warm. It's not in the cold. We don't want to go nowhere near the cold. Dallas can't really handle the cold, i.e., the Green Bay Packers, the Dez Carter game. Like we can't handle the cold.
Don't forget, Santa Clara gets cold too.
It gets cold, but not.
Yeah,
it doesn't get cold, but not like Buffalo or Miami going to Buffalo in the AFC division.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh no, you're definitely 100% right. But no, like I said, I was looking at y'all schedule and I literally was like, Dallas ain't much easier. Like that road.
No, it's not.
The only reason why I say it is because y'all have such an early bye that last stretch are a lot of teams that are hungry, that are doing really well, that are kind of that mid team where it's like, oh, we need a few more weeks to figure out who they are.
I want to say it's us. I want to say it's us, Kansas City, and Philly got the top 3 hardest schedules this year. Yeah. And maybe Buffalo, but I could be wrong.
What about San Francisco? They should be in that.
And San Fran too. Duh. I mean, yeah, it's of course San Fran.
No, I mean, y'all make me want to look at our schedule. And our schedule is actually
y'all's is not as bad.
No, I mean we have a lot of we have on our schedule.
Y'all got Chicago.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing, right? We normally play to like Eric Bieniemy is helping to change that, but we normally play to the level of whatever team we're playing against. So I definitely see us crushing the Bears, right? But the Falcons.
Did you just knock?
I did, because anything's possible. It's a short week, even though we're at home and we're favored to win that game. Anything, right? The Falcons. I think we can win that game, but that can probably go either way. The Patriots, the Patriots are as bad as we think they are, man. I want to drop 52 on these dudes. I need revenge.
Wow.
Yes,
aggressive.
I wanted to drop 50. I wanted to give the Patriots a 50 piece.
You wasn't there when they dropped 52 on us, and they was like, "Why are we gonna take our foot off the gas?" Nah, you about to get all the smoke. We got receipts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyway, but the Seahawks, that would be a good game. The Giants, that's a divisional game, so I'll give y'all respect for both of those.
Who knows? Who
the
hell knows?
And then the Cowboys, like I said, I
don't like depressed Sha'Niece. Ryan doesn't like depressed Sha'Niece. Listen, my team right now, the only Eagles I'm rooting for is North Carolina Central University. This is the only football team I'm going for at this point. You know who my quarterback is? Davius Richards of North Carolina Central University. That's the quarterback I'm repping.
Look, I ain't gonna hold
Davius
you.
all day. Davius, boom.
And listen, you put Davius Richards right now with New York. He might win some games.
Bruh.
Real talk.
I'll give Brian.
He will win some games now.
I'll drive down to Durham right now, pick up Davius, and drive him back up to East Rutherford, New Jersey tomorrow.
Yo, Davius Richard can win New York like at least 2 or 3 games. He can win New York 2 or 3 games.
So was anyone else amazed at how quick they turned around MetLife Stadium? I was like, yo, they just had a Sunday night game. Now they got a Sunday night game. I'm like, yo, wait.
A lot of money. A lot of money, man. A lot of money up in there. For real.
They out here rolling up the course.
They rolling up everything. Like, hey, we gotta get this on the road, man. Hey, get that popcorn from all the way up there.
Hey, get that. Just put it under that shit. Come on.
Yeah.
And you change the bulbs on the on the price of
Yeah.
Look, look, Sierra, you know she got pulled. She said, "Look, I give him a class excuse. What's good?
Hey,
Davius
that's the
Richards
fact.
is
Listen,
my quarterback."
Put a tree out.
And that's crazy. Like Davis Richard can go to New York and replace Daniel
now.
Jones and
Right now.
probably be a wild card.
Easy.
But what he has. Oh,
Easy.
I got higher in Darren Water. I bet.
And give
all I
Davis a little space. He look, we done got all off. Y'all got me all hyped. Anyway,
Eagle Pride, baby. Eagle Pride.
Eagle Air all day. So look, we're gonna do this one. You know, we're gonna get through this because it's quick. Because past few weeks has been crazy. So we got the winless teams. The last two winless teams are Philly and San Fran, and our last no-win teams are Chicago and the Panthers. Those are the only. Yeah, there's no more AFC winless teams. Of these teams, they'll do undefeated versus winless. Of the undefeated teams, San Fran and Philly, who are we taking most seriously?
I take the Niners more
Niners.
serious than Philly. Yeah. The fact that the Patriots was in the game to beat Philly, I want to say last week or the week before, and Washington really like. I think if you would have gave Sam, if you would have gave Sam a little bit more time, Washington could have beat Philly easy. But it's that you can't stop that QB sneak. That 4th and 1, you can't stop that QB sneak, man. That QB sneak is
special. That thing crazy.
That Philly QB. Yeah. That Philly QB sneak. You can't.
You know how to. You know they real scrappy. Them Qs be them dogs.
You can't.
Man, I was like, y'all just do it. Y'all send it in any direction.
Oh, listen, you can't. Only person that can probably stop that is Troy Polamalu. Shit.
Yeah, right.
But it's not here or there. But I feel bad for both Chicago and Carolina.
I don't.
You have two great talented quarterbacks.
Oh,
yeah, you gave Jordan Fields DJ Moore. He could have stayed in Charlotte. Quiet as kept. He could have stayed in Charlotte if he knew he was going to be
better
like
weather.
Better weather, yeah. Like it's cold in Chicago probably, but I think I would trade Jordan Fields to Atlanta.
Justin
right
Fields.
Now.
I would trade Justin Fields to Dallas.
Wow, they got
traded because he wants to play inside.
Well, why does he go to his division opponents, the Vikings?
He could do that because, like we talked about before, Kirk out.
So hold on, wait a second. What are yours? What are yours? Winless teams, undefeated teams. Who are we? Winless team. Sorry, undefeated teams. Well, you already said San Fran, but no, undefeated teams. Who are you?
Undefeated teams, which one I believe in more. Undefeated teams. I got to give it to the 49ers, right? Just because they've been consistent, right? Like the consistency shows they're better, they're healthier, right? So I got to give it to them.
They're very healthy.
You know, but like you said, like Philly's scrappy, right? Like they've been scrappy. They're in all those games, right? I think they're just adjusting to, and it's still like week 4. We're going into week 5, but it's still week 4, right? And that's the thing. It's just like for a lot of these teams who didn't, players who didn't play during the preseason and all that and OTAs, like they're getting into it. That's why I'm like, by week 8, we're gonna know the truth by week 8.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's the thing when it comes to the two undefeated teams. I think what's sad to me when it comes to Carolina and Justin Fields is their confidence. You can tell the confidence has been sucked out of them. Correct. And I had to think about this the other day, which is you have to think of the path to being an NFL quarterback, the path to being a number 1 or first round draft pick. These are guys who were probably stellar in high school. They go to the best schools, the best colleges, university. They are the man at their college and university. And now you get to the NFL and you're generally going to go to the crappiest team. And it's also the NFL, the not for long league, right? Like the expectation is you're a professional. You're going to get paid millions and millions of dollars. You're getting endorsements. We want you to be our savior. You buy into it and you can't perform. Like Bryce Young is just that. He's super, super young. He just got there. He's 4 games in. and they are literally trying to rebuild in Carolina. I don't know why Justin Fields in Chicago just isn't working out. And I do agree. I think it's time for them to part. I think it's one of those relationships where you're like, it's really not you or me. This just ain't it. You know, it's like you didn't do anything technically wrong. I don't think I did anything wrong. It's just this relationship is not going to work. And so, in my opinion, I agree. I think you trade Justin. You like you said, if it's the outside, Minnesota's obviously going to be moving off Kirk Cousins sooner than later. Minnesota's an opportunity, or go to a warmer team like, I don't know, maybe Tennessee. Well, I keep saying Tennessee, but it's because I forget about Tennessee. They're a team that just exists.
Like they actually like they don't necessarily need one.
Yeah, they don't need one. They just drafted a quarterback, but
they don't need one. But it's like, I don't know.
I think Justin Fields got to get out of there. I don't think Justin Fields is a wash. I don't think not a wash, but I don't think he's a bust. I just don't think it's a good relationship. And you saw it on his face.
So let me ask you this.
So here's a thought. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, let me ask you this. So how we not drafted, how we traded for Trey Lance for him to be a third string behind Coop and Dak. Do you do the same for Justin, or do you trade him to play right now?
No,
you trade him to be behind somebody.
So, and what I was gonna say to your exact same point, you trade him to San Francisco.
San Fran?
Yeah.
That's not fair, but
no, you trade, like, because here's the thing, right?
Why not put him in LA? Why not put him with the Rams? Because
Matt Stafford's still there, though.
But we don't know how long he's going.
Matt has a good 3 years left.
I was going to say 2 at best. Best 2. Because remember, he's had a lot of injuries. So I think, again, and I'm not big on the systems, right?
Or he can go to the Raiders.
That could be
behind. Well, but who's behind Jimmy?
I don't know. Somebody who's gonna have to play
tomorrow.
Can't,
but here's the thing, though. If you trade backup, he has to be third.
Brian, sorry, we lost you a little bit. Say that again.
No, but I got what you say. He has to be the backup, not the third. I mean, it really was.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He has to go somewhere where he's going to be behind someone.
Because like the Jets, if you as long as he buys into the system, right, the Jets could be a good fit, right? Because I think the question that we have to ask about Justin Fields, right, is it him? Is it the scheme, or is it the coaching?
Yeah,
right.
You're right.
And the Jets are hungry, right, for that, right? Even though
they have a very young team. The Jets have a very young roster.
Right?
Honestly,
Zach Wilson still has I actually am rooting for that guy, right? Like, I can't even hold you,
but where Zach Wilson is showing, specifically with that Kansas City game, which he really did step up, was that they put Aaron Rodgers there for a reason for Zach Wilson to have that, right? And I think you're right with Justin Fields. You can't put him in like a Raiders. You can't put him in a situation where he's going to have to be ready, because Jimmy Garoppolo is inevitably going to get hurt, right? That's why I said in LA, like, you got to be behind something that's a little bit more veteran, because remember, he was just thrusted into that.
But it had to be.
You have to. Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
Like,
you want him to be good now.
It would have to be similar style of play, right? Like, perfect example. I feel like Lamar Jackson was already good coming out of college. Mm-hmm. But I think the thing that helped him was having RG3 behind him, being like, "Yo, hey, do this, don't do this," because
when I was in Washington down the street,
right?
Yo,
hey,
yeah.
I was trying to go for the extra yard, and they told me to sit on the bench. I said no.
My leg went this way, my leg went that way.
Yeah, right. My knee went this way.
Ouch.
That's not fair. But
oh man.
So that.
Hold on, wait. I just saw this here. It said the Panthers utter disappointment. You can't be. I don't know. He's a rookie. He just came out.
But hold on. But at the same time, with the Panthers, going into this season, as far as the NFC South, and it was up for grabs, but the team with the higher chances that could have won was the Panthers because you still have that solid defense. All you're doing is really plugging in a quarterback. You still got Terrence Marshall, you got Hayden Hurst, he's a pretty good tight end. You have Miles Sanders. You still have some good pieces. It's just honestly, Bryce Young needs the Captain America. He needs a Captain America serum so he could be like 6'4", 6'5" instead of 5'10", because he got to see.
Get in the weight room though. Get in the weight room, get big, come back, do what you gotta do.
And that's the thing. That's I feel like with Bryce Young in the situation he's in, and again, we have to admit that Carolina is still trying to find their identity. They just got a new coach. They're still trying to make something happen. I can't put as much on him as I can with Justin Fields. We've seen it. It's obvious. He's had time. It's time, I don't think that Justin, like I said, I don't think he's a bust, but I think it's time to move on.
Because he was balling, even though he wasn't great last year, he was balling a little bit last year, right?
Yeah.
So it goes back to the same thing.
Yeah.
Team, coaching, or is it him, right? Like,
Correct.
What is it?
Correct.
And even in all offseason with him, it's been like him talking about, we're trying to do this. It's been more talk about his, I don't want to say disagreements, but him just not seeing eye to eye with certain things in the organization, which is why I feel like it's starting to reflect on the field, which is why trading him is a good decision, right?
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I can't.
Brian, hold on a second. Brian, what were you about to chime in with real quick?
Honestly, quiet as kept. They should have not. Carolina should have never got rid of Steve Wilkes. They should have never fired him. When he was interim head coach.
Okay.
He had those boys rolling.
He did. You have to admit that. Yeah.
He had those dudes moving. Like, he had that defense being relentless. They should have never got rid of him.
Agree. And I think maybe, and like you said, with Bryce, I think there's just still a lot of unknown, again, in a week 4, right? But yeah, I agree. I think with Chicago, the writing is definitely on the wall. Like, they got to get out of that.
Because last thing we gonna let you have it. Carolina. You had Frank Reich, who coached a generational talent in Andrew Luck, who had to retire early because he kept getting hit in the effing face. So why would you, Carolina, hire back the first quarter? I think he was the first quarterback of the franchise.
Yep.
As your head coach to do the exact same thing to another great quarterback.
And the problem and the difference is in that scenario is that Andrew Luck was bigger.
Yep. Andrew Luck was 6'2", 6'3", he was like 225, 230.
As they say, the meat and potatoes, as they say.
Yeah, meat and potatoes, exactly.
All of it. He had greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb.
Bro, listen, and he retired, and he
different. Yeah.
You forced him to retire early because of concussions, because he kept getting hit in the face, and you know what I'm saying, et cetera, et cetera. And we can't. If I'm Carolina front office, I gotta look back. I gotta look in the mirror like, yo, we spent all this money getting the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Just to where's our investment? And I get it, it's early, 0-4. Can you turn it around? Yeah, but who would have thought that Baker Mayfield is running in the NFC South?
I would have knew that. I would have known.
Who would have thought?
No, everyone was looking at Derek. Derek Carr was technically the best quarterback in that whole division.
They're still the Bucs.
Hold on. Going into
quarterback wise,
Derek Carr was the best quarterback going into this season.
And we knew
now Baker
was fighting for his job.
I got receipts. Rewind the tape of what I said on our last conversation about all the flack he got from his injury, his shoulder injury in Cleveland.
You did say that. You did say that.
And now he's healthy. He's in the system where they need him. He's had a whole offseason, right? He's had time to build chemistry with these guys. Now he's balling.
And the
Yeah,
only
but
team
like
we
he
all
lost,
know Baker's a
and
pumpkin, and I said
but hold
that.
on, and the only team he lost to was Philly. So I would,
Yeah.
if I'm Baker, I'm taking 3-1, and I'm riding. All I gotta do is
Also,
play.
and can I say this last one before we talk about week 5 and get up out of here? One thing about Baker right now that I think is flying under radar is he's quiet. Baker's very quiet. Ain't heard him.
Look, I
Ain't
ain't
seen
seen him
him
in
getting
nobody house.
helmet.
I ain't seen him in
I-
nobody house this year.
Ain't seen him in
Look,
no. Listen, Baker go home. He come to work. He come on time. He take his 30-minute lunch. He do his
exactly.
rest of his work.
He
And he go home.
he just
Did he take his
he just
lunch
eat his,
pail?
yeah, he got his lunch pail. He eat his cheese sandwich. He eat his
That's
cheese
what
sandwich.
I was
He-
killing
he
my
look,
face eating cheese
look,
sandwich.
Look, he punch in, he throw touchdowns, and he punch out. He go to his wife. That's it. That's all he do. That's all you got to do. When you're in Tampa Bay, you're in Tampa, Florida. That's all you got to do.
Look, I come here. I do what I'm supposed to do.
He said, "It's too much
Yeah,
responsibility for me. I'm going home."
I go
yeah.
home.
Listen.
In the
Look,
group
I
chat,
said, look,
everybody like,
I
hey, we
got
about to
listen.
go out afterwards. Look, Baker like, bro, I'm like 5 minutes from the house. Like, I'm sorry, I missed it.
Man, look, man, I'm fine, man. I can't call it, man.
I
Man,
can't.
look, man.
Next time, though.
I'm in. Look,
Time,
I'm in for the night. I'm in for the night, man.
right. Baker he's quiet. He's
Phone
quiet.
on
But
do
look,
not look. Phone on do not
you got
disturb
this.
and everything.
Hey,
You gotta get that thing twice.
if y'all want to go out, y'all come to the house. I gotta cook.
I got
dinner.
the
You know what I'm
wife
saying?
got the
We
grill
drive y'all
going.
home.
Yeah.
I gotta be out by 8:30 though.
We going to
Yes.
sleep.
We going to
train
sleep.
I got a curfew.
Okay,
I got a date.
Bedtime.
With the hyperbolic chamber.
like,
Yes.
He get in
Yes.
that little suit and like zip it up so he can go. Like Baker is out of there. So look, we going into week 5. Y'all foolish. We're going into week 5. You know, Brian, you had talked about Dallas, San Fran. You want to give us a little something about this matchup?
That got to play. On defense gonna play. I know it. I wish.
Absolutely.
I wish quiet is kept. I wish we had Trayvon Diggs, but like I said, I take Dan Brand as my other corner, and we still got Stephon Gilmore. I think Parsons will be fine. He just got a high ankle sprain. He'll be fine. But defense got to come correct. I have Dallas. I don't know the score, but I got Dallas by 3. I got Dallas off a walk off field goal.
Ooh, okay. All right, next up we got Washington and Chicago. Again, one of those kind of gimme games.
Yeah,
But what you got, Sav?
Like I said, it's a short week. Statistically, we should have it, right? Honestly, I just want to drop 30 on these guys, 33, keep it pushing, right?
We were just talking praise about Justin Fields. Now you want to drop 30 on the kid?
Right. We sending everybody. We sending our front four straight at them, and we're forcing them to throw those picks. I need a manual force. I need a. Is it me?
I don't know. There's a lot.
Hold
on. We got our resident ATN. She says high ankle sprain is not the same as a regular ankle sprain. Those are problems.
Well, apology, doctor.
Look, I should have just gave her the link so she could have came on and
right. We're shooting. I'm gonna text her right now. So
here's the thing. You know what? Should we start bringing Sierra on to break down some of these injuries?
That would be dope.
Why not?
All right, you see this, sis?
So,
7 o'clock. We talking injuries.
Sorry. So let me.
Sorry. Go ahead, Sam.
I need. So pardon the commercial. I need Emmanuel Forbes to come back strong. He was a little bit demoralized after he got stunned a little bit, right? Come back out, get like 2 or 3 picks. I think we're good. As long as we get turnovers, we're good. And I think that it's a very high chance that we will get some turnovers. We just got to not take them lightly and actually play them, come out strong, just how we did last game, and just go at it and play with a balanced offense.
I feel
y'all should be fine. Yeah.
Hold on. I think it might be you, Brian. Hold on. Okay. All right. So we got Philly and the Rams. I think Philly's gonna go away with that. I think it's real simple. I'm sorry. I think it. Hold on a second, Brian. Let me. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on, because I think. I don't. Brian, can you mute your mic real quick? I want to see if it's you. Hold on. I think it was.
It's the Bluetooth. That Bluetooth trying to get you.
Did you talk about Jeff Bezos again?
No, I said Bluetooth.
Oh, okay. You know, last time we talked about Jeff Bezos, he just fell right. They took him right up off this broadcast.
I know, right? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, it's good now.
Okay, yeah. So I think y'all should be fine.
Ahead.
Philly Rams gonna pass the sticks in the first quarter anyway, so it'll be 21.
Wow. So do you think this is gonna be Philly's like blowout game? Because they haven't had one yet.
Yeah, maybe. I think so. But
you gave us 3 answers. Yeah, maybe.
But the that little Giants Dolphins game though.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right. Listen, I told you who my quarterback is, and I told you who my team is that I'm going for this week. Listen, here's the thing. The question is, how bad and can we not get embarrassed like the Broncos? It's really that simple.
You know what?
You're not running 70. If you run 70, I'm going to go full Skip Bayless at the end of every season when he just goes on this whole tirade, blames everybody under the sun, and throws his Dak jersey away. Like, now, granted, I don't have no Daniel Jones jersey, but you're not putting up 70. I'm just going to say that. It's not going to be 70. Clearly, it's not going to be a little bit, but it's not going. They're not going to embarrass us and give us.
You
know what?
Y'all going to Miami?
Yeah, we're going to Miami.
Oh, that's a wrap.
I feel like.
But here's the other thing. It's also Daniel Jones is 1-12 in Monday night games, and I talked a little bit about it last week with which is you can't be a quarterback for the New York Giants, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco, and not be able to perform on Monday night. When those teams are good, they get a bunch of Monday night, Sunday night. They're going to get evening games. And so him not being able to perform at night is an issue. And this isn't one of those games. Because of how bad the Giants have been stinking up, I don't even think this is going to be a game we're going to see other than red zone. So hopefully with maybe the lights off, Daniel Jones is getting drugged through the mud, right? Because in New York media, right, you got 2 teams. We know what the Jets are with Zach Wilson, so they're not dragging him because that's kind of expected.
They're the bad page.
The Jets thought they were going to have Aaron Rodgers through the season.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones don't got no excuses no more. And half of the New York media has already thrown him out. So I think this week, whether it's I'm not listening to the noise, sure you're not. You're in New York City. You are with the New York Football Giants. Daboll, damn near threw a tablet at him. You know who those tablets at people? Toddlers. You know who those tablets at people? Tom Brady when he's having a fit. Like
Gosh, gee whiz.
I don't think we're going to win, but they not finna look. We're not having them put up 70. I don't care what nobody says. We're not
Miami. This is
going to be a popular opinion. But I'm smelling an upset.
From who?
The Giants. I feel like the Giants can put any.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to Let's Talk
any
Football.
Given Sunday. Look, how do I got more faith in the team than you?
Listen. Let me tell you something. Icebox better play. Icebox and the whole little Giants crew. Like
we're gonna need the bad news bears.
Strahan better come out. Mario Manningham.
Look, Sean O'Hara was up there with Eli talking about maybe y'all should go down there.
Brian, you should know better than to doubt a team that you think you're supposed to beat.
Ooh,
oh yeah, look, we were definitely lax when we went to Arizona.
That's what I'm saying.
We didn't respect the run. We didn't respect the run going in, but we forgot about shit. They still have James Conner.
And y'all also forgot that Josh Dobbs is putting together highlight reels. He wants a job. Josh Dobbs ain't trying to be a temp no more. He's trying to
He ain't trying to be no temp. Look, he tired of doing Uber Eats and DoorDash.
Right.
Josh Dobbs went in the damn
exactly.
Hey, I'm trying to get this W2.
Did you see his Snapchat? Did you see his Snapchat with the jokes with the post from Michael Parsons? He was like, oh, gotcha, bitch.
Like Josh Dobbs trying to get a job. That's what y'all
listen. All I'm saying is this: if the Miami Dolphins give the New York Football Giants a 50-piece lemon pepper
I'm
with
done.
the extra with
I'm
the
shutting
extra
this whole
20 with the
team
look with
down.
the extra look with
I'm
the
done.
extra 20 look with the extra 20 Cajun, no fries.
Young, we're not talking next week. We're
I'm telling
on
you, they
hiatus.
are coming
Just-
We're
in.
on
They're going to come
hiatus.
in doubting the Giants, and the Giants are going to play. So they're going to play some very trash but perfect football, and they're going to win this game.
Well, I will say the only hope I upset, like you said, it would be an upset. I think where the only
It's crazy.
An upset is crazy.
But
the only
Oh,
inch
it
I
happens to
give,
any team, anytime.
the only
about
inch
it.
I would give is the fact that you have two offensive coaches who are really spectacular. Like but I don't know if Dabo can scheme up. And I definitely don't think Wink can scheme up anything that's going to stop that offense right now. Especially when you got everybody at 100%. Is Waddle coming back? Is Jalen Waddle is Waddle back next week?
Hey, listen, Daniel Jones better do the off the fist meme.
You're right. The off the fist.
Like,
I'm telling you, man. Look, they all gonna be like, "Yo, we can't get beat like this again." Like,
we're not getting Broncos.
everybody's
I don't
running.
care what nobody say. We're not good,
Y'all-
but we ain't gonna get
man,
Broncos.
I'm gonna say this.
You're not gonna get Broncos.
We're not gonna
one
get
team-
Broncos. Darren Waller
I'ma
probably just
say
start
this.
fighting somebody.
I'm gonna say
We're not
this.
getting Broncos.
One team got Tyreek Hill, the other team doesn't. And that's all I'm gonna say.
We're not getting Broncos.
Well, one team got Darren Waller.
We're not getting Broncos.
Darren Waller,
We're not getting Broncos.
Well, listen. If it's Darren Waller, then guess what? Jeremy Shocker better be right behind him on the other end.
Young,
Like, for real.
I will take Davis down there.
Commercial? Do I need to come out of retirement?
Yeah, exactly. That Ruffles commercial. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Chip, put Tyler in if it's going. No, we're not getting. Look, we ain't getting Bronco. Like I said, we ain't gonna win. We ain't finna get Broncoed out here. Like,
man, listen, y'all.
I'll at least be able to say that.
Like Kevin Garnett said, anything is possible.
That's rude. That's real rude. That's
But listen,
real.
Strahan.
That's rude for a team that still got to see Miami as well.
Oh, listen, we have a better chance. We have a better chance of beating them. We have a better chance of beating them than the New York Football Giants do.
I'm not disagreeing.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tell you, we gonna put them paws on Tua. I'm not gonna hold you. We gonna put them paws on Tua.
I mean, listen. Well, I'm gonna need for y'all to get just like Philly got the Georgia Bulldogs as that defensive lineman. I'm gonna need for y'all to get some more Alabama Crimson Tide as y'all defensive lineman because they getting a little old.
We there.
Yeah.
All we gotta do.
Yeah.
All we gotta do is scare him, make him think he about to get another concussion. We good.
Real quick. I know we gotta wrap up real quick.
Mm.
I know Chase Young was kind of like asking for a trade or more money. Like,
no.
What's your feel on that?
This thing is he's playing for his extension.
Okay.
Right? He hasn't gotten his extension yet. So this is the last year of his contract. So like basically the whole Nick Bosa situation is what set the market for his deal.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Because Jerry got a Jerry. Oof, I feel bad for Jerry. Jesus Christ.
Well, look, y'all, this was fun. We went over because we had too much fun today, and I appreciate y'all hanging with me. But look, this is week 4 of Let's Talk Football with Sha'Niece and friends. Got my friend Savin and Brian here. Look, we talk week 5. It's going to be very interesting. And I told y'all, look, we ain't getting Broncoed. And if we do, we on sabbatical. So you won't see me next week. And that's just
no.
I run this. I run this. You're not going to see me.
Nah, you got to come to the altar. Come on. You got to come to the altar. Tell them about your troubles, baby. Tell them all about your troubles.
I will. I'm going to go up there and cry and tell how I feel. But no, look, this was fun. I can't wait to do it again, potentially next week, asterisk. But look, Brian Savin, thanks for hanging out with me. Love talking football. You know we could go forever. This could be a 2-hour podcast if we need to be, but folks got to eat, and I got to take this makeup off, and I still got work clothes on. But yeah, this is great. Y'all can tell them where to find you on social, where they can follow, and all that jazz.
All the threads, IG.
You on threads?
I am Sav Joe.
Okay.
All social media platforms, King Henry 84.
Look, I got a whole bunch, but you definitely should be following Let's Talk Football Show on IG. The audio for this comes out on Thursday. Super excited. I've been getting a little better with the audio. It's just been really tough at work. But yeah, audio's out Thursday. Go ahead and like, subscribe, join in. We'll start to bring the comments in the conversation. This was fun. But yeah, thank y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. Y'all be blessed. See you later. Peace.